Hey folks, Joshua here. Welcome back to Timberborn, where last time our busy little beavers got started working on the downtown district of Beaverton. We set up some very basics. We got a little bit of water pumping. We're starting to gather berries. We've started cutting wood and building a few buildings. And as we start day 3 here, we're into the morning. Our objective is to get some housing going and maybe think a little bit about farming. If we take a look at our resources here at the start of day 3, we've got 306 food, 256 water. Those for 12 beavers are going to keep us well situated for the day. So our next play is to consider probably shelter. Shelter and science, I think, would be our main objectives here. So considering that, we do have 73 logs stored. And in terms of what we have earmarked, we have 12 logs earmarked here. That's another 12 there. That's 24. 15 for each of these. 3 of those is 45. So that brings us to right around 70. So we have about enough logs for all the things we've targeted. I guess there's another 6 here. Yeah, we have just about exactly enough log stored. There's 24 in here. There's a bunch more in these hauling or lumberjack flags. So 73 logs. We have enough for everything we have earmarked to build right now, which means we don't need necessarily all 4 of these lumberjacks doing their work, right? We can better use them elsewhere. I think we want 4 workers, 4 builders to get building. Of our population, we have 9 adults and 3 children. I did look this up. So the other faction is the one that uses the breeding pods. These guys, if you just give them some homes, will eventually start making little baby beavers. So it's less controlled. It's less something you have direct control over and more just something that happens. Let's think about this. I don't think we need anybody gathering berries today. I don't necessarily think we need somebody pumping water, although it wouldn't hurt. We do want all 4 of these builders active. And let's see, in terms of our current construction schedule, everything is the same priority right now. I think this has been lowered. Yeah. I think we want to cancel one of our workers, or rather pause the lumberjack flag so that he goes and becomes a builder. That gives us 4 builders. What is everyone else doing then? We've got 1 pumper working, so that's 5. We've got 1 scientist working, that's 6. What are the other folks doing? Let's see. If we go in here, can I see? We've got housing, workplaces. Okay. So 4 in the district center. The gatherers flagged. Our 5th inventor. 3 lumberjacks brings us to 8, and 1 water pump brings us to 9. Okay. So I think what we want to do here is prioritize getting our science up. The other main thing we want to get done is we want to get our forester unlocked and built. So let's actually move up the priority on the inventor. We've got 4 builders, 3 lumberjacks, 1 scientist, 1 water pumper. 3 lumberjacks. I think that's good. We'll let the day start to play at the normal rate. And we're going to keep an eye on this science value. We've got 15 science. We need 30 for the lumberjack. As soon as that unlocks, or the forester, as soon as that unlocks, we want to get that going over here. I think this whole area here is going to be wood. So we'll probably start out by reseeding all of these oak trees and adding some more, assuming that I don't have to unlock that or that there's some way to do it. We did just get a diary entry here. This was from yesterday. Kuroji grew up. So we had 8 adults and 4 children. Now we have 9 adults and 3 children. Yeah, we can see that here. We are also going to want to get shelter up today. I don't think we need to worry about a farm yet with all these berries in our stockpiles and our low population. I don't think we need to worry about our farm just yet. Our main constraint is going to be logs and then science, right? We also want shelter. It looks like our scientist is getting, or our science building is getting built here. Let's watch that. Okay, there we go. So I think, like I said, we have enough logs. I think having 2 lumberjacks working will keep up with demand. So we'll take one more lumberjack and pause it. And we'll assign a worker. This should autofill here. Yeah, Mezel moves from being a lumberjack to being an inventor. That should speed up our science once he arrives. I think we'll let the remainder of our construction be completed before we schedule any new buildings. Because I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. I don't want to lose control of what I'm doing. And we are going to want to prioritize building a forester very quickly. Once we run out of logs to chop here, we're going to have to start cutting down these pines. We also have the birch. Or was it birch or was it? Yeah, we have birch available over here. There's all these dead trees that we can get up to with a single staircase. We might want to put another pile over here for this group at some point. But let's just keep an eye on our construction. One thing I would love to get is the haulers, because a lot of these guys, or the builders, are having to, for each thing they build, like when they put a log in here or 2 logs in here, they have to travel all the way over here to do it. I'd rather have my builders building and haulers hauling. Building lacks workers. Okay, looks like the second water pump has been built. Let's pause it for now since we don't have a worker for it. I like having the pause flags because it gives me a visual reminder of which buildings are not being worked, right? We're up to 25 science here, 26 as I watch. And they're building up some more tanks for me. This is all temporary. We'll demolish and reclaim these later. We might move them somewhere, I'm not sure, but for now, this is just a little bit of backup water to have as our population grows, and who knows when the first drought will approach. We do need to get our dam built sooner rather than later, but I think we should have 5 or 6 clear cycles before the first drought because we're playing on easy here. Okay, we're at 28 science. We're nearing the, yeah, we're at the end of the work day. Okay, let's speed through the night. We can see our science buildings have stopped. And as the morning arrives, we should, there we go. We've now hit 30 science. So we can get our first science unlock and determine what our next steps are, right? So pause the game. Let's go ahead and unlock. Where would that be? Under wood? Yes, let's unlock the forester. Plants, trees, and bushes. Okay. That's going to cost 10 logs. Oh, and 7 planks. Cost 30 science points. Yes. Okay. So since we don't have planks, I'm going to need to get a... Okay, I didn't know this required planks. We're going to need to get started on our industry. Okay, so our forester is delayed until we can figure out this next piece. Oh, this is interesting. If you look over here, there's some blockage here, which would allow water to flow through here, up to this blockage at least, which would presumably add some more greenery over here. Not that we're struggling for space right now. Okay, so I need to get my hands on planks. Gear workshop, paper mill, printing press, wood workshop, strengthens planks. We do have a lumber mill. Okay. This requires horsepower, 50 horsepower. So how are we going to get that? Let's take a look at power. We'll have to build both of these things. I think I am going to prioritize them. So let me just double check. Construction on this large pile is low. We do want shelter, but I also really, really want to get this forester up and running. So I think we'll put the priority on that ahead of even shelter. Let's set these to sub priority 1 or priority -1. I'm not sure what you would call this. Just lesser priority, not least priority, but lesser priority. And let's think about how we're going to set up our industrial area. So in terms of power, what are our options? We have a water wheel, generates 270 horsepower per centimeter squared. I'm not quite sure what that's about. We have the power wheel, which is Beaver operated. I don't like the idea of that, really. Maybe as a temporary solution for this. You know what? This might be the way to go. This costs 20 logs. This costs 50. We might build this just to get ourselves a handful of planks to start. I don't know. I'm not sure. We got a power shaft. We'll need science to unlock the various things like windmills. Now, honestly, the windmill would probably be the way to go rather than the power wheel if we could unlock it. It does require 20 planks. We've got a gravity battery. I think maybe for now, having one power wheel and using that to power the plank mill is not the worst idea in the world, right? It does require a beaver. So it takes one beaver out of rotation, but we did just have another child grow up to be an adult. Benny grew up. Now the next question is, where do we put this mill? Obviously, we want to make the best use possible of our non-green space, because green space we want to reserve for growing. Eventually, later in the game, we may create some aqueducts or routes that push water through this area and expand our green space. But for now, this is a great big area for industry and for potentially housing. I think we'll use the area near the district center to set up our industry, or at least get started with our industry. And we'll push the houses back here because we want the output to be centrally located, because right now we don't have haulers. So we'll want them to be able to get anywhere with those planks. So I like that idea. Let's see what the lumber mill looks like. Okay, it is quite large. This works. That fills that space quite well. I don't see a problem with putting this here for now. Let's see. This has ordinary priority. Everything else has been subordinated to this, so we'll build this. This is going to take 15 logs. And I think for now, we'll have a temporary power wheel. I think that makes sense. This exactly serves our needs. So why not use this as our temporary solution? We'll put that right next to the mill like that. If we need some other building temporarily-ish, we can put it over here. For right now, I think that works. And then we're going to need storage for our planks. Now, construction site workplace priority. I guess I can't see how many planks this can hold right now. But presumably it can hold a few, but we are going to want some kind of storage as well. Well, we only need 7 for the forester. And if this can hold 20, that might be enough. All right, let's start by building these and getting somebody in there once it's built. I'll tell you what. Okay, do I want to keep people on science right now? So we've got, if we go back to our settlement workers, we've got 4 builders going. Our gatherers paused. We've got our 2 inventors going. We've got 2 lumberjacks going. Nobody on the power wheel because it hasn't been built yet. One of our water pumps is paused. So we have, where's the employment? We have 1 unemployed beaver who we're planning to put in this wheel once it's built. I don't have a way to assign him as a hauler or a builder. Where is the hauling thing? How do I unlock that? Let's take a look. So cut trees, plant crops, demolish, priorities, paths, landscaping, storage, district management. Oh, I can build a hauling post. Haulers assist workers within a district in carrying goods, greatly increasing their productivity. Carrying capacity plus 100. Okay, this is going to cost me 10 planks as well. Okay. There's additional builders if I put science into it. I think we leave everybody in their current jobs. We're going to want more science eventually. So leaving the, like those two don't have another productive job. We've got 294 food, 267 water. We don't need to worry about food and water right now, at least not today, cycle 1, day 4. So leaving our 4 builders in place, our 2 lumberjacks. We're almost, let's see, is this ready to harvest? So we did get some seedlings here. These guys are on their way to being grown. They need another like 5-6 days, something like that. There are a few more fully built trees here. Okay, so our lumberjacks are going to be able to, our 2 lumberjacks are going to be able to get us more wood. We've got plenty of storage available. I'm not sure what my next science buy would be. I should probably figure that out, right? So I don't need to unlock hauling post. What do I want to unlock? Well, my next goal is housing, right? Let's take a look at housing. Where's housing? Is it under well-being? Campfire, rooftop terrace, teeth grindstone. Yeah, this is not housing. What am I looking for? Housing. It's got its own thing. So this can house 3, cost 12 logs. This can house 1 for 5 logs. I don't know why you would build this. It's less efficient. 6 for 20 logs for 150 science. This is potentially a purchase, right? Because that's more efficient. Instead of 24 logs for 6, it's 20 logs for 6. So 150 science there is not a bad buy. The large water pump for 400 science isn't bad. What else have we got? Gear workshop. I probably need this. We don't need metal yet. Oh, the windmill would be really good. 150 HP from a windmill. That might not be bad. But we would need to unlock the shafting stuff too. How do you... Are there like... Aren't there... Oh, maybe they can't... Maybe this faction doesn't have all the interesting gears that the other people have. The other people had like T-junction shafts and stuff. Maybe this group doesn't have that. We only have regular and vertical. Yeah, that other group must be more mechanical, I guess. The observatory, refinery. Well-being. Trees we can build. Paths and structures. Oh, I probably need to unlock stairs. Yeah, that's probably the first thing I need to unlock next. All right, so the next 70 science is reserved for stairs. I don't think I can get away with that. I don't think I can get away without that. I probably need a platform or 2 at some point. So yeah, we're gonna let the day play out. We're gonna wait for this to get built. I think we've planned well enough that we can speed through today's workday and just wait until these are built for our next pause point, and then to see how much science we have and determine what's the next part of our build. We do want that forester once we have a couple of planks going. So, all right, we're gonna need 2 workers here, I think. 1 in the wheel and 1 in the mill. But let's get through the day. Water is slowly creeping up. Food seems to be holding steady. Okay, so this got built. It has an error message. Building lacks power. Okay, we know about that. These guys are going to town building the power wheel. Okay. So now we have our power wheel built. We have a free worker. So this building isn't connected to any district center by paths. Oh, wait, didn't I? I thought it was connected. Oh, somebody needs to be able to get here to work. Okay. Let's put the path in. That's fine. This should fill with one of my free workers, I think. No available workers in the district. Okay, what's everyone doing? I thought we had somebody free. We have 10 adults, right? Yeah, we have 10 adults. So that's 4. You're paused. 2 inventors gets us to 6. Oh, our free worker went into the lumber mill. Okay. So I need to get somebody else into the power wheel. And it's probably going to be a worker, right? Or rather, a builder. So let's do this. 0 of 1, right? The workplace priority here is normal. Why don't I lower the workplace priority downtown so that as soon as somebody grows up, as soon as one of these 2 kids grows up and becomes an adult, they'll come fill this without me having to worry about it. And anytime anyone's unemployed, they'll just pop over here if there's a spot available. Right? Let's see. So Ambliz has moved, I believe. Yes, Ambliz has moved from being a builder in the district center to working the power wheel. All right, let's see it. There we go. Okay, now you, the lumber mill here, makes planks from logs, low chance of injury. What does this say? Encouraged by old Casco, mechanized wood processing caused much gnashing of teeth amongst older beavers. So the old, like, traditionalist beavers are like, I don't like this newfangled gears and automation. It's not right. Power input is at 50 of 50. Perfect. Network power supply demand is 50 of 50. Okay, so as we put in logs, we'll get out planks. Looks like 1.3 hours for 1 plank. And then the question is, how many can this thing hold? Or do I need to build storage here? We're at the end of the day, so we're not going to find out until tomorrow. Still, not too bad. Not too bad of a day. It does go quite quickly, right? The days blaze by. Even with me pausing and planning, like, I guess we spent the whole day building this, right? So we built our lumber mill and our power wheel. Go ahead and snag a screenshot there. And now, as night falls, the beavers stop working. They go to rest. I guess, now let's take a look at our well-being. Hunger, thirst, and sleep are taken care of. Shelter's still a problem. I need to get this forester built, and I need to get some shelter up. It might be time, actually, to build some shelter. And that's a good question, now that I think about it. What do I need for shelter? For housing? Just logs. We saw it, just logs. Okay, what's my science at? 26. We bookmarked the next 70 for stairs. So I guess I'm going to need to build 4 of these lodges pretty soon. And I should get those marked out because otherwise my builders are not going to have anything to do tomorrow. In terms of resources, we've got 41 logs. Okay, this has been harvested. So now I need to start harvesting pine. I didn't notice this getting logged out. I wonder if you can set up some sort of like an alert when, because the two lumberjacks must have just been sitting down, hanging out with nothing to cut, right? I should have marked these for cutting sooner, but I didn't, and I didn't notice them running out here. So we do need to mark these for cutting. How do I do that? Plant trees and bushes. Cut trees. Here we go. Mark tree cutting area. Okay. Let's just grab all of these, I guess. That's fine. And you guys are... Okay, you're reaching to there, so they actually cannot reach the rest of this. So they can't reach farther, it looks like. Yeah, they can reach up to that line. I would have to build... I'd have to move, like demolish and move one of these foresters. I think I set them up to be within range of the oaks, right? But I could... I guess this is fine for now. Like this last little group, we can maybe build a temporary forester to harvest later. But for now, that's going to handle our log cutting. And I think we do need to set up our housing next. So let's go take care of that housing. The only one I have is the lodge. We've got 12 beavers. I probably want to set up enough for 15 so that as our population slowly starts to grow, we can house a couple more people. And I probably am going to demolish these later and replace them. I don't know, I might. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, so we've got squares, we've got little houses here. I can fit 2 there. Right? And then once I unlock stairs, I could actually build on top of this. And building vertically is probably a good call. I would need 2 things, right? I would need the stairs and I would need a platform. Do I want to do that? They won't be able to use that space until I unlock those things. It's going to be a minute because I need stairs for 70 and I need platforms for 100. I need 170 signs. Looks like we're getting about 25 per day. So it's a ways off. Well, these are, like I said, these are temporary anyway, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Let me just get a few more of these down. Like that. You know what? I'm actually gonna, can you move and drag these? Or do you have to demolish them first? Is there a hotkey to demolish? And then I can duplicate like this, right? Okay, that's enough space for 15, what are they called? Beavers, right? That should be good enough. Let's connect these to the path. Okay, so tomorrow we'll be focusing on building that, getting our initial planks up, and then we'll get our forester built and start reseeding these oaks and things. I think that's good. These things are low priority. I guess we can take you out now. We can pause this water pump. Got 291 water, 2 filled buckets. We're not speeding through our food or water here. And then the guy we took off the pump should automatically go be a builder because it's lower priority, but that slot is still open. All right, let's speed through the night. Okay. So, we're taking our logs, we're building up our lodging so people have a place to sleep at night. That's great. If I did keep these for whatever reason, I could build a stairs here. There'd be are stairs 2 tiles or 1? Well, either way, I could build stairs here if I needed to, up to a platform that they could walk along to get into the entrance, and then build another set of lodges on top. That's fine. We've got our 2 lumberjacks, should be cutting down pines now. Yeah, they're working on pines. If we look at our employment, 10 workers. Everybody's working. So we got 2 lumberjacks, 2 scientists, 4 workers, and then power and planks, right? Now, okay, this can hold up to 13 planks. That's not a lot. Let's consider adding something here. So I'm guessing we want a storage for planks. A small warehouse should be fine, right? If I just make you and set you to planks, is that in here? You see gears. No, it must be a pile. Okay. So there's got to be a hotkey for demolish. Let's set this to, there we go, planks. Okay. And that can hold 20, right? Yeah, so between that, we can hold 33 planks. And if those get full up, like the first 7 are earmarked for the forester, and then we can have up to 33 planks. And once those are full, we can take these guys off this job and send them to go do something else. Okay. Hey, look at this. Shelter's getting built. Very nice. One of our kids is automatically assigned here. Very good, very good. So next priority is forester. We're at 34 science. We're gonna want to unlock stairs and platforms, I think, next, and then figure out what to do with our science after that. I can definitely see us like needing a lot of science. It's very slow right now, which is fine. Everybody's fed and watered. So the other thing we want to try to work on is our well-being, right? We want to get this going early because when we hit an average well-being, there were benefits at, I think, like 2, 5, and 7 that made beavers faster and more productive and stuff. Where was that screen that taught me about that? I think it was in here. Distribution, migration, well-being. No. Here we go. At 5, they get working speed. At 2, they get movement speed. And at 7, they get life expectancy. Well, hopefully they start reproducing now that they got some shelter. I might need a few others. I might need like a campfire or something for them. How are we doing on resources? We're down to, okay, we've got 4 planks, but we're down to 17 logs. So yeah, not great. I might need to shift somebody back to working on harvesting these logs in a minute. We'll keep an eye on this. These lodges are obviously soaking up a lot of logs. But once they're finished, maybe I won't need to, but the builders won't have anything to build at that point. So we'll see. We might shift some people around once all these lodges are built and our forester is built. We're at 5 planks. We are going to want these guys to keep going, these 2, on the power wheel and the lumber mill, to keep going until we have our maximum supply of 33 planks, and then we can shift them out. Yeah, we're starting to burn through our logs. Food and water hanging steady around 283, 291. Seems okay. Yeah, we are running low on logs. I'm going to need somebody to go be a logger in a minute. In fact, let me unpause this now. That sucks in one of the builders to change jobs, which is fine because even though I'd rather have 4 builders, if they don't have any logs, they're not doing anything anyway. So shifting one of them to harvest more wood for me is definitely the way to go. Okay. In terms of buildings, we have the remainder of this lodge and then this thing. And okay, we now have 7 planks. So let's learn how forester works. Let's see how this goes. Wood, forester. Okay. 10 logs, 7 planks. Okay. So that seems like the right place to put this guy, I guess. It's on the path. It covers a chunk. Now, interestingly, why? I guess we want to cover as much of this greenery as possible. That seems pretty decent. It's interesting that the area it covers changes depending on the orientation, too. All right, that covers the majority of this area we've been wooding. So let's start with that. We'll leave it at a standard priority. We'll let them just finish it when they finish it. Let's get our path in place here to the front door. Seems good. And then once this is built, I'll figure out how we do the planting. I like the idea. There's got to be a hotkey for that. I like the idea of having this area reserved for oaks, which are more efficient but grow more slowly, and then this area being reserved for pine, which is better than whatever. If we look at planting trees and bushes, birch is the least, that's this, right? Yeah, birch is the least efficient that we know about. Pine is better. I don't know that we've looked at chestnut trees. Oaks are 8 for 30. Maples are 6 for 28, so less efficient on wood, but they give us, I think, another resource, probably sap. Chestnut trees, again, less efficient on wood, but give us chestnuts, which I believe is a food item. But for now, we're going to focus on oaks and pines, I believe. Do we want do what's our like secondary tree? 8 for 30. 6 for 30. 4 for 23, so like 5 for 30. This is 4 for 24. Again, like 5 for 30. 4 for 28. The nice thing about birches is how quickly they grow. We want something that grows a little faster than oak. I think we stick with oak and pine for now. Because this is less efficient on wood, but having a 12-day cycle grants us more routine access to wood, even if it's less efficient. I mean, the other alternative is just to plant the entire thing with oak and just rely on efficiency. That means if we cut everything down, it's 30 days until the next time we can get wood. So we'll have to be careful with that. It might be better. I mean, this also has the benefit of this other resource, pine, sap. I don't know what I want first, like sap, chestnuts, maple syrup. I think maybe we'll stick with oak in this area and pine down here. I think that makes sense. And I think we'll just extend this path a little bit. Like that. Now, actually, if I make the path go further, like to here, does that extend the range? I guess he's got most of this area. All right, let's let this get built, and then we'll figure out how it works. So let's keep an eye on things here. Once everything is built, including these two, we'll need to transition our builders to other jobs by unpausing some of this stuff. Like I said, keeping an eye on food and water, we're fine, right? Logs are our limiter right now, but we are starting to harvest all of these pines. Once we get our 70 science and unlock, we also have these trees, and we can get up to these deadwoods once we get our stairs unlocked. Sedimon grew up. Only 1 child left, 11 employed, so we're doing all right on that front. Okay. 2 scientists, 4 builders, 2 industrialists, right? So that's 8. And then we've got our 3 lumberjacks. That's the other 3, getting us to 11. Once this last kid grows up, we'll have a 12th worker, and then we'll have to wait and see what's involved with birthing new baby beavers. They are clear-cutting these pines pretty fast. Okay, we've hit the night. Nobody's going to be working. But we should see our wellness go up after this next night because everybody has a place to sleep now, right? Let's get through the night and take a look at what we get. We should get a 5% movement bonus, I believe, once our wellness crosses the threshold from 2 to 3 or 1 to 2. We should have wellness 3 across the board, I would think. Everyone's fed. New well-being high score 3. Okay, very good. All right, the workday has begun. We somehow got to 4. How's that happening? Oh, shelter adds a +1. Okay, that's good. If we can get 1 more wellness, we get to 5, and then we get a 20% work speed benefit, which I want. So another thing we should do today is focus on that. You know what? I haven't looked at the tutorial in a minute. Let's see what this is asking me for. A settlement needs a stable food source. Build a farmhouse to plant and harvest crops. If you're running low on workers, you can pause some buildings. Like many other buildings, a farmhouse has limited range. Okay. We're not quite there yet. In terms of food and water, we're doing fine. We've got all these berries to harvest. I suppose a good point to make is that once these berries run it, like if we start burning through food and harvest all these berries, and we don't have a farm set up, then we're cooked, right? Then we can starve. Where is the next nearest source of berries? There's berries over there. If I make some way across here, I guess with, let's see, structures, is it landscaping? I have dams. I think I can build dams and then walk across them, use them as a bridge. So I could get to those berries in an emergency. They're pretty far away. Same with this group here. With a set of stairs, I could get up to there. But yeah, we should, after we get the forester set up, I think setting up like a small farm is like in this area is probably our next play. Let's see. So we're going to build this forester. You know what? I should have set this to a higher priority. I want it ahead of anything else, but okay. We've got one plank here. Okay, so we're going to let these guys keep working. Oh, look at this. Vriska was born. We got our first baby. Where's Vriska? Vriska was born. Okay. That's cool. Our first baby. So all I needed was these lodges, right? In terms of construction, we've got this barrel and the forester. So once those are done, the builders have nothing to do. Let's wait for that and then figure out if we want to reallocate our workers. We probably do. At that point, we slow down on construction for a bit and focus on foresting. So let's see everything get built. And then we'll figure out foresting and we'll work on maybe like a little bit of wellness and setting up a farm here. Okay. Yes. Okay, excellent. Because I lowered the priority on the builders, this forester automatically drew Kuroji over here. And I don't know how this works. So, plant trees and bushes. Bold and beautiful foresters are the core of Beaver society. I feel like this workplace, more than any other, needs to have a slightly elevated priority. What does this do? Replant dead trees not marked for cutting. Is that this? Yeah, that's this, right? Okay. Let's prioritize chestnuts first. And then I guess we go to plant trees and bushes. And we set up... Oh, no, not chestnut, oak. These are oak trees, right? Yeah, oaks. Okay. So we want to prioritize oak. That's the most efficient. And then presumably, if we set up two areas here, one for oak and one for pine, he'll rebuild all the oak first, and then he'll go work on the pine, right? So now we go to plant trees and bushes. We grab oak, and we set up an area. What is his range? So he can go all the way up to here. I don't see a reason not to have this entire area filled with oak, right? Let's do something like this. And this, right? I think I'll leave this little space open, but we'll have as much oak as we can get up here. Let's check that. Yeah, we're within our bounds. That's all going to be planted. That's fine. And then we'll fill this area with pines. Right, so we do that. We do that. We'll grab this last little chunk over here. So some of this can be pines, some of it can't. Go ahead like that. Like, I think if there's a little bit of green, it can work. I guess that's fine. All right. So another question is whether I want a second forester or how much this guy can handle, right? I don't know how efficient he can be. but he just has to keep up with the cutters. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. All right. So we did get our forester in place. That's fantastic. I think so. They're also building our builders are building our last building, our last construction. How are we doing over here? Still holding tight, around 270 food. I guess they're not eating that much because nobody's gathering berries right now. They're just not eating that much. All right, let's take a look at our wellness. I would like to get this up to 5. Looks like someone. Oh, the baby didn't count. The baby didn't count, so the average wellness doesn't go up. So we probably want 2 wellness points. So that if there's like a chunk of the population that didn't get access to it, we're still over 5, right? So in terms of social life, we have the campfire, we have the rooftop terrace, contemplation spot, we have aesthetics here, shrub, lantern, roof. All right, so probably we do 1 social life. I think we do a campfire and some kind of aesthetic, and let's see how that works. So, okay, we have the campfire. A place for beavers to relax and socialize in the evening. Visitors 5 must be built on the ground. Okay, what does this look like? We also have a rooftop terrace. We have a teeth grindstone. Basic needs, broken teeth. We haven't seen anyone have that happen yet. Yeah, we're going to need some of these. Once our population grows, we need more science. Like, we're 3 days in, we've got 55. We haven't even unlocked ladders yet. But let's focus on campfires. Okay, so I like the idea of something like I like the idea of using our space as effectively as possible. I don't know what else I could put in that little section. But having a campfire here on the edge of the pines seems like an okay deal. It's a good use of that space. So there's 1 campfire. Right, we'll get that built, and we'll path that. We could leave, like, there's 4 squares here we could do something with, I guess, but no, we're gonna need this path in here. So, like, this space, I guess, would be wasted. I don't think there's any getting around that. Like, I might be able to stick something that's a 2x1 in there or something, but for now, let's do that. We probably want 3 campfires. Having them close to camp here to our home seems okay. So that's 1 campfire. There's some space here that I don't know that we're using. So we might put, let's see, can I fit 2 more? I want to have this seats 5. I want at least 1 for everybody. So we want 2 more if possible. Let's copy this. I could go like this. That uses some of that space effectively. Okay, let's do this. These ones are slightly less scenic, right? But maybe we fill in with some shrubberies now. Decorations. Shrub. Aesthetic shrub within 1 tile. Okay, I see how this works. So we can... I guess this affects that building. We can throw some back here, I guess. Like, we've got some spaces here. Let's throw, like, 1 there. Let's throw 1 there. I don't love the idea of putting it back here. It feels kind of cheaty. Where else can we... I guess we can fit them here. Like this. Like, that affects that path. That affects that path in that campfire. And then we can do that for the other campfires. I'm not a huge fan of not having anything on these lodges, but let's just do that. That gives our builders plenty to do, and hopefully gets our aesthetics up and our well-being up enough that people can get over +5. I might need to sneak. Well, let me sneak. There's no way for them to build this even if I put it here, right? They can't get in there. Where else do I have a space? Like anybody walking over here is gonna get some action, but maybe 1 more along this path right here. No, I might want that for a building, like another science building. Not sure. I think this is okay. We've got a few of these things. You know what? I'm actually not a fan of that. Let me get rid of that. Because there could be something else in here. Like this space, I think it's well used. Anybody who's walking on this path to get there will walk past these anyway. So maybe that's enough. Let's throw those up and see how that works. Also, where's Kuroji? What are you doing? You're carrying water? Why are you carrying water? What are you doing? You're putting water away? Why are you... We're not even pumping water. Where's that coming from? You work at the forester. Let's follow Kuroji here for a minute while these guys build our campfires and shrubs. Okay. So you go to the forester. Okay, so you're planting a tree. You must have been finishing up your previous job, right? I think we're out of logs, right? Yeah, we're out of logs. That's okay. We knew about that. Okay. He planted an oak tree. Very good. So then 30 days from now, this gives us... Yeah, there we go. All right. He's going to be very busy. I don't know. Does it say how fast he can grow stuff? I probably need another one of these. I don't think one guy is enough. What can he do? Like, he gets 2 trees an hour, maybe? I probably need another forester. All right, we'll come back to that idea later. For right now, our builders are all employed making campfires and stuff. We can probably get a second forester going. I don't know. I'll have to do some research and see how much one of these guys can handle. Like, it doesn't look like it's a lot. Might need a second forester here. We also need more logs. We've got 4 planks. We're almost to the 70 science that we need. I guess at this point, I need to unpause this other lumberjack flag. We need to harvest the rest of these pines. And I should mark these birches for cutting as well. Build a campfire, crackling with ideas, build a campfire, experimental build only. So I got an achievement there. I should mark these trees for cutting, I think, just so that once the pines run out, we have some source of wood. Is there a priority for cutting trees? Does that work? No, there's no priority here. All right. Well, hopefully they just do stuff they're close to first. I don't quite know how that works. But I guess we'll head over here so that they have a path to get here when the time comes. Let's see. So we're doing well-being. We want to get started on, at some point, we want to get started on the farm. I think we're getting close to the end of the episode here. Cycle 1, day 6, right? Like a fair amount of progress. We got our forester built. We got our lodges built. We had our first birth. We're working on well-being to get our production bonus. Still fine on food and water. We do need to get this dam built. I need to keep that in mind. In fact, why don't I build this now? Why don't I schedule this and then we're going to have to get over here, actually. We're going to need a path to get over here. How am I going to do that? Oh, with the stairs. Okay, you know what? We've just unlocked stairs. Let's do that. Let's unlock this. And then... let's see. I guess since we already have this path, the crossing should be here to get over here. And we can path over here. Not sure how we're going to get around or through this. But yeah, we can build our path to the water's edge. We can build our first set of stairs here down into the water, right? And then back up over here. And then we can cut our way over here and build our dam, I think, right here. Not sure how we're getting... There's more trees here, more oaks and berries and stuff. I don't really want to demolish them. Can they just move through a forest, or how does that work? Like... I might even want to build... Like, there doesn't seem to be a path through, really. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a path through, unfortunately. And we want to reserve most of this green area, so, like, we don't really want them... It's going to be expensive, but I might want to grab another... Well, I guess I can demolish some of this stuff. Like, the path through here seems pretty good. Like, we'd lose 1 tree, 2 trees, something like that. All right, let's do this. Get ourselves over to the edge. And then let's demolish stuff so that we can get... let's schedule them to demolish stuff so that we can get that path built. Demolish buildings, delete rubble, mark resources. There we go. Okay, so that's going to demolish that stuff and give us a path. And then once we're over here, we can build our dam. So once that's done, we can build our dam. And then the next thing we're going to want is our first farm. So our builders are still quite employed. Like, I'm trying not to build too much too fast. We've got our first campfire. We've got some shrubs planned. They're going to have to get over here and get these stairs built, demolish these resources. Interesting that he's building this stair first. This is lower priority. These stairs are lower priority. I want the well-being and the shrub. I want the campfires and the shrubs done first. This bucket has been sitting here for a while too. Yeah, our big problem right now is logs. And this guy, look at how slow this is happening. I'm definitely going to need a second forester at some point. Probably sooner rather than later. Okay, so that brings us to the end of... Oh, look at this. Yeah, there we go. That brings us to the end of day 6 of cycle 1. Our beavers are quite busy. We've had our first baby beaver born. Our beavers have shelter. And now they have something fun to do as they hang out at the campfire. I want the screenshot, but I don't really want the undone, the unbuilt stuff. That seems pretty decent. There we go. That's a cool screenshot. All right. So as day 6 comes to a close, we take stock. We've planned for the future. We are running low on logs. We have these birches to rely on. We have a plan to build our dam, right? We have a plan to get our farm up. We have shelter. We're starting to have well-being, right? We've got some things in the works, and we unlocked stairs, the masterful scientific invention of stairs. I can already tell science is going to be a problem until we get our population up and get more scientists or unlock some sort of better science building. Like, it's very clear that science is very slow. I do think, man, you can only have one guy working in here, huh? I wish you could have like 2 foresters working. We're definitely going to need another forester. Like, 1 is not anywhere near enough. So what did he plant in one day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did 12. So he does maybe... We have... I don't know. Looks like 18 hours. So a little bit less than 1 tree an hour. Like, we definitely need another forester. That well-being score of 5 is fantastic, as it means as long as we keep it. Yeah, everybody got it today, but if somebody misses something somehow, that's what the shrubs are for, to give us that little bit of a margin of error. But that 20% working speed bonus is great. That'll help out, but we definitely need another forester and a farm. That's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying my playthrough, my thought process my plans as I work through learning how to play this game. Granted, we're playing on easy mode, but for a first playthrough, I felt like I more wanted to learn the mechanics than like make things stressful and watch the colony die. Like, I want to build a really cool colony. And so playing on easy means I probably have a good shot to do that. To see a big colony that, you know, grows to 100 beavers and has all kinds of advanced tech and stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really enjoying the game. But that's going to be it for this time. Thanks again for watching. If you want a baby beaver named after you, or you want to help the video, you know, get out there, throw a like and a comment on it, and I'll name her Beaver after you. Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.